Hi, today we're going to go through Dynamics 365 Business Central closing process. My name's Tammy Patton. I'm a Business Central consultant at Innovate. I've been doing Microsoft and Dynamics consulting for 20 years. I'm also certified in Power Platform. I like to keep on the cutting edge of technology. So what I'm going to go through today are the closing steps. Before you even think about closing, you're going to need to post all your activity. I want you to run through your reconciliation, run your aging reports, confirm everything is entered correctly, post your date restrictions, and then I'll also go through the year-end closing and posting your closing entries with you as well. I'm going through the PowerPoint first, then I'm going to go through a demo. So at the end of the year, what you're going to do, and probably do a lot of this on a monthly basis, you're going to post all your finished orders, sales orders, purchase orders, everything. If applicable, you're going to run your depreciation, currency, and recurring. You're also going to make sure that you run your aging reports to make sure that they balance with your GL. This is a list of some reports that you might find helpful with closing. When you run the closing process, I'll let you pause on this screen if you want to review those further. When you close for your month, one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to go into your general ledger setup and you can adjust your posting dates. So this will prevent you from posting too far into the future and too far into the past. This works globally throughout your entire system. However, there are times that maybe most people shouldn't have access to post for the prior month and you're still doing closing entries, for example. So you can actually override this setting on a user by user basis. If you click in the ribbon on the general ledger setup, you can go to general and then user setup. You can actually override on the default settings. There's a couple things that you need to do when you close the accounting year. We're going to close the accounting period. You're going to close your income statement. It's going to create a batch that we're then going to post. Step one, I just like to put this out there. Before you close your year, open your chart of accounts and make sure that the format of your chart of accounts is correct. Your balance sheet are your balance sheet and your income statement are with all your income statements. People will sometimes that aren't familiar with BC might carelessly accidentally set up an account, and even though the account number falls here, it'll be set up as an income statement. I wouldn't causes problems when you close. So before you close, just kind of scroll through your chart of accounts and make sure it's all correct. First thing, then you're ready to close the year. So you're actually going to go into your accounting period screen. You're going to process and you're going to close the year. You can see one of these is a process for closing. One of these is year closed check boxes, so you can kind of see which years have and have not been closed. After that, you're going to run through a process called close the income statement. Within this, you enter your date, your journal template and batch number. You can create your own batch number, year-end closing, or anything like that, or you can leave it in whatever batch name that you want. I typically will create one. You're going to enter your retained earnings accounts. You're going to post your retained earnings account. This one is kind of important. This one gives you the ability to post in detail or as a lump sum, one amount. So I'll go through that in a little more detail on the next screen. You can enter your posting description, and then this is if you want to close by your dimension, you can select all of your dimensions, and that means that you're going to get the breakdown with all of your dimensions. If you don't mind, if you don't need that, then you don't even have to select any dimensions. In this screen, I have an example or two examples. One was that post to retained earnings account in detail. On this line, first off, I want to point out that the posting date starts with a C. So this closing entry is going to start with a C. Gives me my closing entries. Notice that my description says close income statement and my amounts. And notice here that I have an offset for each one of these accounts. So it's going to debit and credit this amount for this account and this account. The other way that you can do this is you can just do it with just a balance account. So in this example below, I've done this same closing process. However, you'll see that the retained earnings is only one line at the bottom instead of having multiple lines. Another thing I want to point out is that if you need to, you can, if you run this closing and review your batch and you decide that you want to, that it's wrong, that you'd like to rerun it, no big deal. You can delete this batch and rerun this closing process. Only before if you have not posted it yet. You got this. So I am going to go into my Business Central demo database. First thing I just want to point out to you, I have a lot of people ask about my colors. Just this as a side note. If you click on your settings, there's something here called Office 365, and you have different themes. In here, you can change your theme in the top of your screen to whatever you want. Just a little fun fact off the beaten track. So the first place I'm going to go is to my accounting periods. So I'm logged in under the accountant profile where I'm going to click on finance, and then within finance, I'm going to see accounting periods. I'm in the demo company. In this demo company, I have not closed any fiscal years here. So when you're ready to close your year, you would just click on process, close year. While I'm here, if you don't have, if you're starting a new year and the new year doesn't exist, don't just enter in all the dates by hand, just do create year and the system will create it for you. Close year. It's that easy. The next step is to close the income statement. It is not in here. It's one of those screens that's only used, once a year. So we can find it in a couple different ways. You can click on this button in here. We can go into your general ledger and go to different things. We can explore more roles, and we should be able to find it in one of these screens in here. Except I don't know where it is off the top of my head. So I'm just going to actually type it in, and I'm just going to go close income statement Notice I just have to type in CLO. I could then do INC if I wanted as well, and it brings me to that screen. This is where you would select your journal and your batch name. If you wanted to create a new one, you can. This will be your default document number. Your retained earnings account. Here's where you're going to either post in to balance or detail. I'm going to do it to balance. This is the posting description. I'm not going to select any dimensions, and I'm just going to select OK. Clicking on my Cronus company name here. What that did is if I click on finance, I can go to my general journals, and I put this one in my default journal. Hopefully there was nothing in my year in my demo company, but it would be listed in here with the dates would start with a C, and then I could just post it. But that's all that's involved with closing out your year. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to help. Have a great day.